Welcome everyone to today's session in physics. Today we are discussing the topic average velocity and average speed. So what is meant by average velocity? In the previous class we were discussing about distance and displacement. Now what is average velocity? So average velocity and average speed, they are the two terms which describes the rate of motion. Okay. Average velocity is defined as the change in position or displacement divided by the time interval. In ninth standard, you might have studied about velocity, simply term velocity. Here you are studying two terms, average velocity and instantaneous velocity. Okay, so average velocity is the change in position or displacement divided by the time interval. Okay, so if x1 and x2 are the positions of the object at instants of time t1 and t2, then average velocity represented by v bar. So v bar is used to represent average velocity, v bar. Okay, average velocity is x2 minus x1 by t2 minus t1, and that is equal to delta x by delta t. Okay, and it is a vector quantity. So this average velocity is a vector quantity and its SI unit is meter per second. So you know it is simply what? Displacement by time interval, delta x by delta t. So displacement, you know, it can be positive, negative or zero. So in the same way, average velocity also can be positive, negative or zero. Okay, so in one-dimensional motion, I already told it is very easy to show vector quantities direction. The direction is shown by what? Positive, negative. That means the sign stands for the direction. So in average velocity also, it is a vector quantity. So the positive or negative sign in this average velocity represents its direction. In previous session, we already discussed this position time graph. I said this is an example of non-uniform motion. Actually, this is that position time graph of that car. One car's example we took, no. Its positions were shown and we explained distance and displacement. For that movement of the car, actually, this graph is plotted. Okay, so it's motion from 0 to 8 seconds. So from 0 to 8 seconds, this much portion is redrawn. So that graph we are discussing once again. So we are discussing one graph, that is one position time graph. So this is the position time graph of that car, okay, during the time 0 to 8 second. So finding slope of a graph. So for a body in uniform motion, this position time graph is as shown. That means graph will be a straight line. So time along x-axis and position along y-axis. So this graph is what? It is a straight line. Now suppose this angle is theta. Okay, so angle made by the graph with the x-axis is theta. Then slope of the graph is defined as m is equal to tan theta. So tan theta represents what? Slope. Okay, so this is the concept behind finding slope. So when we find that tan theta, what will be that tan theta? Let's find that tan theta. Okay, so we are finding tan theta. So one more graph I am drawing. So suppose on this graph, so again the position time graph t and x. Now suppose we take 2 points on the graph. Okay, the positions corresponding to these points, suppose those positions are x1 and x2. So what are x1 and x2? They are the positions corresponding to the 2 points on the graph which we took arbitrarily, and the corresponding time, it is t1 and t2. So at times t1 and t2, the positions are x1 and x2. Hope you followed. Okay. So finding slope means what I said, theta. So this angle only we know that theta. So if I construct a triangle here, okay, so suppose I call these 2 points as AB and this point as C. So triangle ABC is a right triangle, isn't it? Then this angle also will be theta. That by the property of parallel lines, you know that angle also will be theta. So from this triangle, what will be tan theta? Tan theta will be equal to, okay, what will be tan theta? Tan theta will be equal to opposite side by adjacent side, isn't it? So it is BC. BC divided by, tan theta is BC divided by AC. Tan theta is BC divided by AC. Okay. Now, what is this BC divided by AC? You just look, what is BC divided by AC? BC is x2 minus x1. BC, it is x2 minus x1. And what is AC? AC is t2 minus t1. Got it? So, in short, the slope of the graph is, the slope m is equal to, we are getting x2 minus x1 by t2 minus t1. Okay. So that is change in that y coordinate divided by change in x coordinate. That's what we write as delta x by delta t. Okay. So this delta x by delta t is nothing but what? Average velocity. So that is how we conclude, like, slope of the graph, slope of which graph? Position time graph gives average velocity. For which type of motion? For uniform motion. For uniform motion, the position time graph is a straight line and the slope of the graph gives average velocity. Okay, so even if you don't know the steps and all, don't mind, just learn what is that point. The slope of position time graph gives average velocity in the case of a body in uniform motion. Now, in the case of body in non-uniform motion, the graph is a curved one. In this particular example, the shape of the graph is as shown. Okay, so in that case, how can we find average velocity from the graph? That's what we are discussing now. So here also we are finding that 2 points P1 and P2. Okay, so corresponding to P1 and P2, the time, it is what? 5 and 7. Hope you followed. This is 5, this is 7 time, instants of time. And velocities at the that means positions at the two instants are 10 and 27.4. Okay. So the positions we got and the instants of time also we got. Now using the expression for average velocity, you can find what means average velocity. Average velocity is given by what? Average velocity is x2 minus x1 by t2 minus t1. So for that graph, what will be that what x2 minus x1 by t2 minus t1? Actually, in the graph, so when we find that ratio, you will get 27.4 minus 10 by 7 minus 5 will give you 8.7 meter per second. So average velocity we are getting as 8.7 meter per second. Now in this graph, what is that average velocity? You just see here P1, P2. So actually P1 and P2, they lie along the curve. That graph is a curved one. So now P1, P2 is the chord joining the 2 points. Okay, the chord joining the 2 points P1 and P2. Actually, x2 minus x1 by t2 minus t1 gives the slope of this chord. Okay, so in the case of body in uniform motion, simply the slope of position time graph gives average velocity. In the case of a body in non-uniform motion, the slope of the chord joining the what two points corresponding to the time interval, the slope of that chord gives you the average velocity. So how to find average velocity from graph? That's what I explained now. That is how to find in the case of uniform motion. Just find the slope of position time graph because the graph is already a straight line. Okay, in the case of non-uniform motion, the graph will be a curved one. So how will you find average velocity from the graph? Just take 2 points on the graph and join them with a straight line. That's what we call as chord. Okay, then find the slope of that chord. Find the slope of that chord. That slope gives you the average velocity for that particular time interval. Okay, so here in this example, we have found the average velocity corresponding to the time interval 5 to 7 seconds. That means in the interval 2 seconds. Okay, so that is how we can find the average velocity from a position time graph. So what we discussed, for a body in uniform motion, slope of position time graph gives average velocity. For a body in non-uniform motion, slope of the chord joining the 2 points corresponding to the time interval gives the average velocity. Generally, what is slope of a graph? Slope is what? Delta y by delta x. What do you mean by delta y? Delta y means change in y coordinate that divided by change in x coordinate, and that is the same as that theta, tan theta. Here that q stands for what? Theta. Okay, so tan theta, where theta is the angle made by the line with the x-axis. Here we have the three graphs. Okay, position time graphs for the body in uniform motion. Okay, so all the three graphs are straight line graph. Let's discuss what type of motion or what all conclusions you can make from the graph. So the thing is this, all the three graphs represents uniform motion, we can say. But what about this graph? This particular graph shows a stationary object. That means a body at rest. These two graphs, they show the objects in uniform motion. So what makes the difference? Okay, so in this case, in the first case, this slope is positive, isn't it? When you find x2 minus x1, you will get it to be positive. But in this case, in the second case, when you find the slope, you will get the slope to be negative. So here the average velocity is positive and here the average velocity is negative. So this is how you should learn. That means the position time graph of a body in uniform motion moving with positive average velocity is like this. This is the graph. Okay, positive average velocity. For negative average velocity, the graph is like this. Is that clear? So this diagram shows the position time graphs of a body in uniform motion, and the graph will be a straight line. If the graph is having positive slope, it means the average velocity is positive, and if the slope is negative, it means the average velocity is negative. Okay, now what is the interpretation of average velocity positive and negative? If the average velocity is positive, it means that the body is moving in positive direction. How can you say that it is moving in positive direction? You know, average velocity is what? Change, that means displacement by time. What is displacement? Change in position. So when average velocity is negative, okay, displacement is negative. Displacement negative means that change in position is negative. Change in position negative means what? Change in position negative means what? the object is moving in negative direction. That means in horizontal direction, if we are considering, the object is moving towards left, then only you will have the change in position as negative. Okay, so very important point, average velocity negative means the body is moving in negative direction, or if average velocity is positive, it means the body is moving in positive direction. So that's what I stated in the beginning. That means in the case of average velocity, since it is a vector quantity, the positive and negative sign shows the direction. So here it shows the direction of motion. Now let's discuss what is average speed. Average speed, it is actually total path length traveled by the body divided by the time interval, or it is simply total path length by time interval, or it is the same as distance traveled by the body by time interval. So what is the difference between average speed and average velocity? Average velocity was displacement by time and it is a vector quantity. Average speed is what? Path length by time or distance by time, and it is a scalar quantity. Okay, average velocity will always be, means average velocity can be positive, negative or zero. Okay, but in the case of average speed, it will always be a positive quantity. If the average speed is zero, what does it mean? The body is at rest. Okay, and it will never be negative. It is a scalar quantity, so it will always be positive. Okay, now if the body is in motion of the body is in straight line and in the same direction, displacement will be equal to distance traveled. Yesterday we discussed one example like that, and the magnitude of average velocity will be equal to the average speed. So average velocity can be, the magnitude of average velocity can be equal to average speed. In which situation it comes like that? When the body moves along a straight line in same direction. And what is the SI unit of this average speed? It is the same as that of average velocity, that is meter per second. When we find the dimension, the dimensional expression of average speed and average velocity, we can see that both average speed and average velocity, they have the same dimensional expression, that is L t raised to minus 1. So dimensionally they are same. The difference is one is what vector quantity and the other is scalar quantity. Now let's do one problem. Example 3.1. A car is moving along a straight line, say OP in figure 3.1. It moves from O to P in 18 seconds and returns from P to Q in 6 seconds. What are the average velocity and average speed of the car in going from O to P and from O to Q and back to Q? So here is that diagram showing the positions of the car at different times. Okay, so here it is given. First, the car starts from O, then it goes to P in 18 seconds. So time taken for that motion is 18 seconds. Okay, so in 18 seconds it goes from O to P. We are asked to find the average velocity and average speed for both. So what is average velocity? Average velocity is change in position by time interval. Change in position means 0 and 360. So final position 360, initial position 0. So it is 360 minus 0 divided by 18. So 360 by 18, you will get 20 meter per second. Okay, calculating average speed, it is path length by time interval. Path length here, that is 360 itself. So the answer you will get as 20 meter per second. So this is an example of the case where the average velocity has the same magnitude as that of average speed. Okay. So for the second motion, it is from O to P then back to Q. So body starts from O, then it goes to P, then it comes back to Q. Okay, so for the motion OQ, let's first find average velocity, that is displacement by time. Final position it is set to 240 and initial position is 0. Okay, be very careful. It starts from O, goes to P, then comes back to Q. So final position is at Q, that is 240. So the displacement it is 240. So 240 by the time taken. So the time taken, what is the total time taken? For O to P it takes 18 seconds. For coming back to Q it takes 6 seconds. So what is the total time taken? 24 seconds. Okay, so 240 by 24 gives you 10 meter per second. So that is average velocity. Now what will be average speed? In the case of average speed, see, in finding average speed, you need to find the path length. What is the path length actually? OP plus PQ. What is OP? OP is 360, PQ is 240. 360 plus 240, you will get, sorry, it's not 240, 120. 360 to 240, that distance is 120. So 360 plus 120 will give you 480. So 480 divided by, you will get the time taken, that is 24. So 480 by 24 gives you 20 meter per second. Okay, so that's what average speed is. So average velocity it is 10 and average speed is 20. So totally different. Magnitude of average velocity is not at all equal to average speed. Both are different. Okay, so this is an example for that. Now we will discuss one problem from exercises, that is 314. A man walks on a straight road from his home to a market 2.5 km away with a speed of 5 km per hour. Finding the market closed, he instantly turns and walks back home with a speed of 7.5 km per hour. What is the magnitude of average velocity and average speed of the man over the interval of time? First case 0 to 30 minute, second case 0 to 50 minute, and third case 0 to 40 minute. In this question, it's given that the man walks from home to market with a speed of 5 km per hour. So when he walks to market, he may take 5 by 2.5 hour time. So here we are not converting hour to minute. It's easy for us to do in hours itself. So the total distance, that means not this, 2.5 divided by 5 will give you the time taken to reach the market. So you will get half. That means he takes half an hour to reach the market. So in half an hour, so at the end of half an hour or 30 minutes, he will be in the market. So at the end of 30 minutes, he is in the market. Now reaching the market, seeing the market close, he turns back instantly and walks with a speed of 7.5 km per hour. So for reverse motion, his speed is 7.5 km per hour. So for traveling the same distance 2.5 kilometer, how much time he will be taking? That means 2.5 kilometer divided by 7.5 kilometer per hour. So you will get 1 by 3 hour. 1 by 3 hour means how much minute? 20 minute. So for backward motion, that means to reach home from market, he may be taking 20 minutes. So 30 minutes to reach the market and 20 minutes to reach back home. Okay, or half an hour to reach the market, 1 by 3 hour to reach back home. So that is the conditions. Okay, now it's given to find the average speed and average velocity at the end of 30 minutes, at the end of 50 minutes, and at the end of 40 minutes. So how will we find where will he be at the end of 40 minutes? At the end of 40 minutes, the thing is this, for forward motion he takes 30 minutes, then rest 10 minutes. So the thing is this, he covers the whole distance in 20 minutes in his backward motion. So within that 10 minutes, he will be covering half the distance in backward motion or reverse motion. For reverse motion, the time taken is 20 minutes. Okay, so in 10 minutes, he will be covering half distance. So at the end of 40 minutes, 30 minutes plus 10 minutes, he will be here. That means at the end of 40 minutes, his position is here, which is at 1.25 kilometer from home and from market. That means equidistant from home and market. Okay, and that time 40 minute we wrote as 2 by 3 hour. Hope you know how to convert minute to hour. 40 minute by 60, that means 40 by 60, 4 by 6, that is 2 by 3 hour. Okay, so these are the positions. So at the end of 30 minutes, he is in the market. At the end of 50 minutes, he is at home. And at the end of 40 minutes, he is at this position. Now, for all these time intervals, we can find the average velocity and average speed. First, 0 to 30 minutes. So 0 to 30 minutes, the displacement delta x is 2.5 kilometer and the velocity or the speed is 5 kilometer per hour. Okay, for when he goes there. So the thing is, this time taken is 30 minutes or half an hour. So average velocity equal to displacement by time, that is displacement is 2.5 kilometer, time taken is half an hour is the same as 0.5 hour, so 2.5 by 0.5 you will get 5 kilometer per hour. When we calculate average speed, the total path length for 30 minutes is 2.5 kilometer. Again, the time taken is 0.5 hour, so we will get 5 kilometer per hour. That means during that time interval 0 to 30 minutes, both average velocity and average speed have the same value. Now for 0 to 50 minutes is the same as 5 by 6 hour. Okay, so at the end of 50 minutes he has reached back home. Okay, so in that case, what about the displacement? Initial position and final position coincide and the displacement will be equal to 0 and the average velocity will be equal to 0. So in this case, average velocity is 0. Now average speed is total path length by total time. Here total time taken is 50 minutes or 5 by 6 hour and the total path length is 2.5 kilometer plus 2.5 kilometer, that is 5 kilometer. So 5 divided by 5 by 6 will give you 6 kilometer per hour. So for the third time duration 0 to 40 minute is 4 by 6 hour, that is 2 by 3 hour. So for finding average velocity, that displacement is half the distance between home and market, that is 1.25 kilometer. Time taken is 2 by 3 hour. So we have 3.75 by 2, that is 1.875 kilometer per hour. Now for average speed, we need path length. Total path length is 2.5 kilometer plus 1.25, that is 3.75, that divided by time taken 2 by 3. So we'll get 5.625 kilometer per hour. Only this much for today. Thank you.